This week we're going to be talking about the respiratory system. We have here a diagram of the respiratory system, and we're just going to real quickly take a look at the parts of the respiratory system. So we're going to start off with the nasal passages. Nasal passages are, you breathe air in through your nose and they go into the nasal passages, which are up here. You can also breathe in through your mouth, but both your nose and your mouth you can breathe in. Then from there, it's going to go to the pharynx, which is another, what you probably hear more often called the throat. And so, it's the official name is the pharynx. And from the pharynx, the air is going to go down into or through the larynx, the voice box, which is how you make your sounds. The air coming in and out of the voice box makes the sound. Then it will go through the trachea. I grabbed the wrong one. Trachea. Or also called the windpipe. When something gets down in the trachea other than air, that's when you get choked and you cough, and that cough helps to push whatever's in that windpipe back out so that you don't have things going into your lungs that aren't supposed to be there. So that is the trachea or the windpipe. As it goes on, the air comes in through the nose or the mouth, goes down the pharynx, through the voice box, into the trachea. You've got two lungs, so that windpipe or trachea splits into bronchial tubes. And the bronchial tubes go to each of your lungs. So now we're going to be looking at the lungs, and the outside of the lung has a covering on it that is sort of slick that helps it to not get sore as you're breathing because your lungs are always working, and that's called the pleura. And this is on the outside of the lungs. It helps to protect the lungs and keeps them so that they can work correctly. Then inside your lungs, you have when the bronchial tubes go into the lung, they start branching off. They actually look sort of like little trees in your lungs. And those are called bronchioles. And at the end of each bronchiole are all these little sacs, and that's where the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide take place, and they're called alveoles. They sort of look like a little cluster of grapes. And then underneath all of this is this large muscle. It's sort of a dome shaped, and it's called the diaphragm. And the contraction and release of this muscle pushes air out, and then it contracts down and it pulls air into your lungs so that you can have the oxygen that you need. So what we have now is a model of what your lungs would be like. This right here is the diaphragm. The two pink balloons inside are what your lungs would be, and this would be your trachea, your windpipe, all those. And when this diaphragm is relaxed, see, there's nothing in these lungs. Of course, we've always got something in our lungs, but this is just a model. So when the diaphragm contracts, see how it's come down and it's pulled air in here so that the lungs inflate. This is what's happening when you're breathing. You're inflating your lungs. Now, if you were in the classroom this week, you would be getting a balloon, And I would ask you to blow this balloon up, which is pretty simple. To blow up one balloon. This is representing what a healthy lung. Forget that noise. That's just one of those things. But if you do things so that your lungs don't stay healthy, such as if you smoke or you vape or other things that are harmful to your lungs, you see here I've got two balloons. And I'm going to try to blow up this inside balloon, but this is representing a damaged lung, one that is not as pliable as and doesn't get air in as easily due to smoking or vaping. So this one was easy, right? Okay. Let's see about this one. Okay, I was able to blow up the balloon, but it wasn't near as easy as the one that was just one and was very pliable. Because I was blowing up this inside balloon, it wasn't as pliable, it wasn't as healthy as the balloon where there was just one of them. Then this represents a healthy lung, and this would represent a lung that has things in it so that it's not working as well as it should. Now I'm going to show you an actual cross-section, meaning they took a lung of obviously someone that died and donated their body to science. And this was a lung of a smoker. Let's see if we can see how dark that lung is. And that's someone that has smoked for many, many years. We're now going to look at a picture, and it's going to be from the internet, so it's going to change. You're not going to see me behind it. Probably glad. But we're going to compare this dark, almost black lung to a healthy lung. So here's a cross-section of a healthy lung. See how bright colored that is? It's pink and red. Not at all like this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what smoking can do to your lungs. Now we're going to have this little special thing set up. It's got some cotton balls in it. Cotton balls are very white. And we're going to simulate smoking just one cigarette. You can see the smoke filling up the inside of this. Now, a lot of people smoke much more than one cigarette in a day. There's 20 cigarettes in here, and some people smoke up to 3 or 4 packs a day. You can tell that this is not clear anymore. We've got smoke all in these lungs. In fact, you really can't even still see the cotton balls in here. there. So all this is going in the lungs. You think the lungs are going to stay, the cotton balls that are representing our lungs are going to stay this nice, pretty white? We're going to have to wait and see. Oops. Okay, so it's gotten down to the very end here. So we're going to stop this. I'm going to take these cotton balls out, and then we're going to look at the cotton balls. Okay, I've taken the cotton balls out. Now remember, they look like this to start with, right? I don't know if you may have to go back inside to really get the effect of the big difference. So that was a preview of what you're going to be reading about in the passages this week, the respiratory system. Next week, I hope to do another video where I'm going to dissect a deer heart. So have a good week. Do those passages. Make your observations. The observations this week are going to be exercising. So it's asking you to do air squats and push-ups, which I know y'all have done those in PE, so you know how to do them. And just do your best, and I'm interested to see what we're going to have this week for our observations. I really enjoyed those that did the observations of the plants and insects and things going on outside. Now I want to see what we're doing with our exercising. Have a good week.